So, more than anything else, the ultimate determinant of the future of any human being, all of us in this world, is money. What we become, the kind of schools we go to, the quality of life we have, every single one of these things, all of them is determined by money, finances. Not a lot of young people understand that there is global inflation. And the question is, how many young people even understand why the prices of things are going up and why cost of living is shrinking by the day? Things are getting more difficult by the day. And then how many young people even have an answer to the question? And equally, how many young people have a plan to counter this inflation? Now, of course, if you are seeking a quality life, if you're seeking any type of lifestyle, in the future, it is going to be very, very difficult for you to have a life that is better than the life you have now. So, I mean, if we are to look at it and think about it, we hear our parents talk about how cheap things were in the 80s, how they did this for 10 naira, how they were able to go to school with 5 naira, all of these kind of things. The same way your parents talked about how good things were is how you are going to look at your unborn children in future, and you will wonder how things went from what they are now to what it will be in that time. Now, this is not me being a prophet of doom. This is just me telling you how the finance of this world has been set up, the financial institutions, the global institutions, how money has been set to go in and out of people's houses or people's lives, or how incomes is set up. So how it's set up is that generally every single thing you have has a debt on it. For instance, if you're watching this video from a mobile phone, there is debt on that phone. Debt in the sense that the company that produced that phone had to finance the production of that phone with debt, meaning they are owing somebody money for using their money to finance the production of this phone. And owing somebody means it has to come with interest. Debt always carries interest. So as time goes on, if the companies make production, they have to account for profit. And then guess what? If there is a high debt on the phone, if there's a high debt of financing used to produce the phone, it simply means that they have to increase the price of the phone in order to be able to pay up for the debt and equally account for profits and all of those things. So there is debt everywhere, whether it's this laptop, whether it's my AirPods, my microphone, every single thing, the lights, there is debt on the production of everything. Now, if the world is currently running on debt, it goes a long way to tell you that the financial system of this world has been set up with debt. If there is no debt, there virtually cannot be any finance. And as long as every single thing, every single money that is spent carries an interest on it, it has to keep going up and up and up and up. And guess what happens? Eventually, they lower interest rates, people take loans, they use it to make productions, and then because of a result of low interest rates, inflation goes up, things goes up because there's a lot of money in circulation. And guess what happens? They have to now increase the interest rates again, so that they can do what? Mop up the money in the circulation, quote unquote. And then at the end of the day, by the time people buy debt again, they have to pay back at high rates, and it goes on and on and on and on like that. So you have to understand how economics works. Now, if economics works like that, the question is, where does that leave you as an individual? It leaves you in a very critical state as an individual, knowing fully well that your children are already owing debt, you're owing debt, your children are owing debt, everybody's going to be paying debt all the way, all the way, all the way. And who do we owe this debt to? The people who control institutions. They are the ones we owe all these debts to. So the question is, what this simply means is that it is going to be more difficult. Now, over the next 10 years, there is going to be a huge wealth shift. Now, if you are not able to succeed and have a 10-year roadmap to actually get financially free, within now and the next 10 years, hopefully we're still alive. If you're not able to do that, it is going to be extremely difficult to ever retire from any job, because you are going to need to work. There will probably, your retirement is not going to be enough. Whatever it is you're going to be paid at retirement, it's not going to be enough because things are going to go up all the way. So it is going to be extremely difficult to retire. It's going to be extremely difficult to get rich. It is going to be extremely difficult to succeed. And if you live in a third world country like Nigeria, where we live in, it is going to be worse. It is going to be worse. For you as a young person in Nigeria, it affects your future in so many ways. It affects whether you're going to be able to start a family, whether you're going to be able to have children, whether you're going to be able to take care of your children. It affects all of these things. So how does it affect it? If you don't have money, you can't start a family. And if you are a lady, and of course, a lady's time is ticking, unlike a man who's, and even in fact, as a man, I think the older you get, your sperm cells and all of this, and I think they begin to decrease. So why do you want to even want to play? Why do you want to play the long-term gamble? And say, okay, I'm going to wait till I'm 45 before I get married. If I make money at 40, I'm married at 40. What's even the guarantee that you're going to be alive to be up to 40? So that's another thing too. So the thing is, none of these things are guaranteed. But if you want to start a family, and you're someone who wants to build a family with a man and a woman, and you want children of your own, if that is what you want, there are people who don't want it. I've met people who don't want those things. But if that is what you want, the key is to build a team around it, is to have a team. You can't do it by yourself. Let's say, for instance, you earn an annual income of 5 million naira per year. That 5 million naira per year, if you stand by yourself, it's just you. But let's say you're now with a man who has an income of 5 million naira as well. Both of you have the same level of income, 5M. What comes into what you call a household income, that's the money that comes into a home, that is now 10 million. So that means if your rent is 1 million, you both knock it off. Your children's school fees, you probably have 2 children, you knock off the school fees easily. If you have certain responsibilities, you knock off all these things easily. And guess what? In a country like this, you are able to live even a very, very significantly comfortable life at that income. Yes, you can live a good life, or, at least to some point, to some degree. I think you should be. If you combine the incomes, you should be able to at least feed yourself and take care of a few things. You're not going to live luxury. You're probably not going to own an iPhone 14, both of you, but you are going to be good. So what I'm saying is and of course the sad part is you still see people who think, now we're not in our parents' era anymore, where you could afford to have a full-time housewife, and then the man's income was more than enough to take care of everything that happened in the home. These days, we don't have that luxury anymore. It makes the greatest deal of sense for you to combine an income and build a team around your finances. If a long-term union is what you are seeking, the only way you can get it and be financially comfortable enough to provide for yourself and provide for those offspring and give them a future, and you can educate them and you probably leave them with something, is to be able to build a team. That's the only way you can do it. If you choose to do it by yourself, it's going to be insanely difficult, and I'm sure you don't want that difficulty. But if you want to make life easy for yourself, all you need to do is find someone who has some work to show for it, because trust me, it is very, very difficult to look around this country and find how many men earn 500,000 naira a month in this country. It's very rare. And the men who earn that money, who are wealthy enough to probably earn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million per month, what's the guarantee that they're going to come your way? What's that guarantee? Nothing guarantees that. And things are not going to come down anytime soon. The way the financial structure of the world has been set up, the price of articles and commodities are not likely to come down anytime soon. Not likely at all. Things are not likely to come down. And if things are not likely to come down, I sincerely hope you're not banking on social media because of what you see on social media, and you think, people say, oh, this person just bought X car for his wife, this person just bought this person just did this, just did that. I mean, you are not sure my Davido is not coming. Davido already has his own Choma, so your own Davido is not coming. You just might need to roll up your sleeves and actually get to work and build with your family. And long term, you're able to reap the fruits of, the labor that you've put in. I really, really hope that this message sits home with you. And of course, I don't know if you watched up until the end, until this time in the video, but if you did, I want to say a very big thank you to you. This video is going to be everywhere. I mean, I'm recording it in portrait mode, so it's going to go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is you can find anything on the social media, TikTok, you're going to find this video there. And if you watch up to this moment, please do well enough to follow me. If it's YouTube, please subscribe, like the video, engage with the page, interact, leave your questions. If there's any type of content you would like to see, please shoot me, just leave it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to make this type of content. The idea is, I'm someone who's really, really passionate about seeing a better society. I'm very passionate about seeing a better world that we live in. And whatever it is that a man and a woman can do, and I personally believe that family is the single most important component of the society, because the larger society is made up of different small pockets of different families. And if the families are broken, the entire society is broken. But if the family is properly fixed and everything is gotten right within the family setting and at the family level, everybody is happy. So that's exactly why I make these videos. And of course, I hope that it helps someone make a better decision, helps them live a better life. Cheers.